everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah and I'm your friendly Canadian bookworm. This is my first video and I'm really excited to be doing this. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. You may have heard the birds in the background, particularly the one that sounds like it's screaming mama from the other room. If you can't hear it, well, I look like a complete psycho, but that's okay. My family rescues parrots. We have 17 of them, so inevitably you're going to hear or see one pretty much in every video. My cockatoo Gertie is usually behind me, but she's been really bitey today, so she's in her cage. If you haven't guessed it by now, this channel is going to be all about books and reading. I've been a reader since about the age of 8, and I haven't stopped since. And so I really wanted a place just to, chat about them. On the 15th of every month, I plan on doing a video about a film, TV show, or even a video game adaptation of books that I've read, and my opinion on how they've done, whether it's a good job, bad job, or an absolutely horrendous job. I'm looking at you, Aragon. Every Saturday, starting next week, I plan to talk about books that I've read that week as part of my 100 book challenge. That challenge is exactly what it sounds like. I'm going to be reading 100 books in 2021, and the only rule is that I can't read a book that I've already read. So if you have any suggestions for books for me to read, just leave them in the comments below. In between these two videos, I have plans for so many other book-related topics, so if any of this sounds interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Now let's get started with today's topic, film covers. So I've noticed lately that a lot of people online just have this deep-seated hatred for film covers, and I really didn't understand why. So I went ahead and did some research, and a lot of people said that they just didn't want celebrities or faces in general on the cover because to them it took away from their imagination of what they thought the characters were supposed to look like based on the description in the book. Which, thinking on that, made a lot of sense because when I first read Harry Potter, I had this distinct idea of what Harry, Hermione, and Ron were supposed to look like, and then I went and watched the movies. Well, after seeing the movies and going back and reading the books, suddenly when I read them, all I see is Emma, Dan, and Rupert, which for me is fine. So, how do I really feel about this? Personally, I don't mind film covers. I mean, yeah, sometimes I hate them if it's just the face of an actor, especially if it's one that I don't like. But a lot of times, especially recently, I've noticed that some of them end up actually looking really cool, and I've actually found some of the original covers to be pretty boring. That's not to say that I'm not going to read them because of that, but I know that there are a lot of people who will judge a book by its cover and just not read it because it doesn't look interesting. There have also been times where, unless I see a film cover, I wouldn't have even known that it was originally a book, which is horrible to say for a bookworm, but I'm going to be honest, and it's true. So, example, when I saw I Am Number 4, I had no idea until I saw the book in the pharmacy a few weeks later that it was a book. And then I had to mention it to a friend who's an even bigger bookworm than I am, and she clued me in that it was an entire series. Based on that alone, I think that these can be really beneficial because someone may not be much of a reader and may pick up that book just because they've seen the movie and recognized it, and then that may bring them into a whole new world with the series. One of my favorite covers right now is my copy of Stephen King's It, this one right here, based off of the new film starring Bill Skarsgård. You'll have to excuse the tear and the bend in the cover. Gertie, my cockatoo, got a hold of it one day. I normally keep my books in much better condition than this, and it really hurts my soul. Anyway, for me, this cover is so much more appealing than the original. Just for some reason, it seems more sinister to me. I don't know if it's Pennywise in the background, the balloon, Georgie about to die. Sorry, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movies or read the book. But for me, I like it better. On the other hand, there are some covers, like the Twilight film covers, that I really hated and I just honestly refuse to even look at. In the end though, love them or hate them, it's okay. It's all up to personal preference, and I'm not going to think badly of you whichever way you lean because honestly, my opinion doesn't matter. Anyway, that's all for today's video. I hope you like it. If you do, subscribe, and if you didn't like it, tell me why. I'll see you next time. Happy reading!